To Newton Sports Club again on Friday night. I'm delighted to join Ben Walkden from the cricket team. Ben, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. And welcome to the pod, your first time on the pod.
Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant. T20 night tonight, a bit of a delayed start due to the weather.
Yeah, a bit of rain, unfortunately came out on the losing side, but nice to get out and a bit of a hit tonight. So, no, it was good. Good little laugh and get ready for tomorrow night.
Brilliant, excellent. So Ben, tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been at the club and what part do you play?
19 years old, been here since the age of 4. So
wow.
I've been here through every single age group. Opening batsman, ball a little bit as well, and playing the first team with Chris, who I think you've had on.
Yeah, we had Chris, so, yeah.
Yeah, I've been here for quite a long time now, so looking forward to the season.
You must love your cricket, 4 years old.
Yeah.
So that's the family side of things, isn't it?
Dad got me into it from a very young age. My granddad played, my uncle played as well here, so we've all played in family club. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I'm just looking over to my right. I'm looking at Newton le Willows Sports Club, the cricket first 11 club captains, and I can see Walkden on there a number of times. Am I right in thinking?
Yeah. So Ian's my dad, captain 97, 99, and Mike's my uncle.
Brilliant.
So they've played for years and years and just passed on. So yeah, enjoying it. Yeah.
Do you know what? It's really it's humbling to hear that side of things because we're looking predominantly at grassroots sport on the pod as well. We had some of the young lads from the rugby boys earlier. But just to see the generations that come through, it must be proud when you look at that board and think, actually, my name's up, family members of mine are on there.
Well, it was good to play with my uncle and my dad as well. They've stopped playing a little bit now with obviously getting a bit older, but even to play with them was nice, and hopefully just carry that on until hopefully play with them until I'm their age.
Brilliant. And so last season, let's be honest, a fantastic season for Newton. Absolutely smashed it. Got promoted into the top tier from amateur team.
Yeah. So the Liverpool Premier League, which is full of ex-professionals, really good sides, and this is my first time ever in this division, so it's new for me, new for plenty of the other lads as well. So I just want to see what it's like, and we've got had a decent start, 1-2, drew 1-1, so reasonable. We didn't really set our sights too high at the start of the year.
And how are you finding it personally, this new league compared to last season? Can you feel that step up?
Yeah, I do. In that last division, you sort of saw that a couple of teams were maybe bringing a couple of second team lads in, so they were a little bit short, and now it's sort of 4-11 good quality amateur cricketers, and you feel that competition, and it's really good for me, to go out on a Saturday and feel like it's a really competitive game.
And that must help you want to raise your game in practice, in the matches itself, and when you evaluate each and every maybe training session or match itself. How do you go about going, right, okay, we're at this level, we've done really well, I need to step up. How do you go about that yourself?
Yeah, I train during the week and play during the week with Lancashire.
Brilliant, okay.
I play second team cricket there. So there's a lot of cricket going on during the week, and you feel like you're always around cricket. So you've always got to be ready for a game on a Saturday. You feel really confident going into a game, and there's going to be good players, but you just got to back yourself, be confident, and go out with them lads and think you can win. Yeah.
Brilliant. And that professional side that been involved at Lancashire, that must put you in good stead.
Yeah. It's probably similar, really. Been there since I was 10. Played there through the age groups. I just sort of back my ability a little bit to know what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, and I'm old enough now to know my game, and know who I'm playing against, and I'm just enjoying my cricket at the minute.
That's brilliant. And is there any player that you've looked up to through? So I'm significantly older than your good self. So if I look at Lancashire, I'll think of Flintoff, obviously, Neil Fairbrother, and those type of players. Is there any players that you looked up to?
Well, just off tonight, we've played Leeds tonight in the 2020. Carl Brown has played tonight. He's played for Lancashire for numbers of years, played in the 2020 Blast team, won the trophy with them in 2015, I think, and he played against us tonight. So quality, ex-professional. You know, I used to watch him on the telly all the time, and to follow him tonight was nice. And you know, you see so many professionals during this league now and playing against them for Lancashire. It's a great challenge, and like you said, Flintoffs is also an idol of mine, batting balls, and obviously Joe Root, one of the best players in the world right now, and you know, there's some proper cricketers nowadays, yeah.
And they are, I think so. Listen, forgive me, but I'm more football orientated. But I've always loved to watch a bit of cricket, but it's predominantly been Test cricket. Okay, and I remember Graham Gooch, Mike Gatlin. I remember Jack Russell as wicket keeper. That type of era.
Tell them about United.
And we've got some supporters in the background. I'm not sure what they're saying, but we're there. But yes, so I remember those sort of players, and you'd never put them down as athletes and professionals in by comparison to today's game. And you look at the guys now when they're out on the field. Everybody's an athlete nowadays.
There's so many different competitions in the game now. 2020 ODI and Test cricket, and I think we go under the radar that bowlers nowadays got so many injuries. 3 bowlers, 3 England Test bowlers have all got stress fractures in the back just from this week. So we just realised you've got to think about the workloads of the bowlers, and probably back then it probably wasn't thought about as much, and they probably played through injuries that they shouldn't have done.
And I think, I don't want to take this away from you guys, right? But we look at Jimmy Anderson, and he's chomping at the bit to get back in that Test team. And I listened to him recently on an interview, and he's saying, I'm ready to go, I feel as good as I did. And to have that longevity in the sport, from when he used to bowl with that funny coloured hair and whatever, to be one of the best bowlers in the world, Lancashire boy himself as well. That must be an inspiration to look to.
Around him in the changing rooms every now and then, and just see him around and seeing what he does now. He conducts himself in a professional environment. You look up to people like that. And, he's one of the best bowlers I've ever seen.
And we don't want to single people out. This isn't just, but around the youngsters, yourselves and everybody around, what is he like there?
He's a good character, and he makes you feel very welcome. And I've trained with him the odd time, and he's good around the young lads. But also he knows that he wants to focus on himself, and he knows that he very much keeps himself to himself. But he's one of the best professionals and bowlers I've ever seen.
I've got to be honest, that interview is only within the last few weeks that I heard, and he's very humble about that. When you say he keeps himself to himself, it's not about the limelight for Jimmy Anderson. It's about the cricket and him as a personal wanting to do the best for himself, and whether that's club or country. I know he was very, very disappointed to be left out of the West Indies tour, I think, and he's made that very public, but he's not blamed anybody. All he said was, I'm ready to go to the next. And how good is that in the sport of cricket? In sport in general, we don't always see that. People want to blame others.
He got his head down, and he said he wanted to play for Lancashire, and he's done well so far. He's had that opportunity to go and get wickets, and rightfully so, he's back in the team now for the next couple of weeks. So
brilliant. And so just 4 games in the 2020, so I know there's an expectation, but how's the outlook for the rest of the season looking at the moment for you guys?
I think we had a bit of a chat before the year. We sort of set our sights as maybe just halfway in the table, maybe a little bit higher, 4th or 5th maybe. I've got a couple of other good cricketers here. I've got Jack in, like I said, who's currently at Lancashire, professional cricketer, and an overseas from Pakistan. So we should do well. We've not set our sights too high. Plenty of tipping us to go probably down, which is nice to be a bit of an underdog. We just got to play our best cricket, and tomorrow go again and see how that goes.
And who you got tomorrow? Oral.
Short trip to Oral, so looking forward to that.
Brilliant. And what is there a thought tomorrow? Win, lose or draw, or you just leave it there and go and play your best cricket?
Like in this league, you never know who can turn up. They've got a good overseas, I've heard as well from. I'm not sure where he's from, but you never know who plays the best cricket on the day. A bit like football, really, rugby, whatever sport it is. You nothing really to be expected.
Brilliant. Well, listen, good luck tomorrow, but more importantly, good luck for the rest of the season. I do hope, look, we'll get more of you guys on throughout the season, because I think that's really important and we can see that journey. But thank you very much for coming on the pod. Really appreciate it. All the best. Ben Walkden there. Ben, if I've pronounced your surname wrong, I do apologise, fella. It's a southern accent. It's just one of those. So, but I hope everybody that listened to that, you understand what I say. Is an inspiration to youngsters, really level-headed young man, and I really do think he's got a great career and future ahead of him. If you do have an opportunity to come down and watch them play, I tell you what, these boys have got some proper cricketers. Absolutely amazing. It's good to watch, and the T20 is a lot of fun as well. As you know, including the rivalry with Lee it's quite big. But forget the rivalry, just get down and watch them. It's absolutely amazing. And don't forget, while you're watching the cricket, you can have a drink. Joe's got some bar snacks on the go. The toasties are absolutely amazing. So do get down and watch it. I promise you'll love it. Now, the last interview I had the opportunity to do on Friday night, and there was a few, and that's why we split it into two parts this episode, is with Paul, who is the Rugby Union chairman. He's got 30 years association with Newton. Now, the rugby club, sorry, not just Newton in general. From player, coach, all sort of every type you can ask, he's been there, seen it, done it. And you just know he loves the game. It's not just a pastime that he does because he enjoys it a little bit or wants to do something. He absolutely loves the game, and that comes through loud and clear. And when you listen to him, I mean, there was a few brandies or whiskies in, I couldn't quite tell what he'd been drinking, but you would never have known. Only, I'd seen him at the start of the night, and I'd see him at that point, so I knew he'd had a few. But come across so well. And think about this, like when you listen to him, if you wanted a chairman for your sports team, okay, rugby, football, tennis, cricket, badminton, whatever sport it is, it doesn't really matter, does it, right? This is the type of guy you'd want, because his love and passion for the club, for the sport, for everybody associated is just right up there, I promise you. A really, really good interview. And on this one, okay, you've got to listen out, because he gives a special mention to James, who we heard from earlier, okay? And I won't spoil it for you, but absolutely amazing. Give this one a listen. You'll love it. So I'm still down at Newton Sports Club tonight, and I'm delighted to welcome Paul, who's the Rugby Union chairman. Paul, welcome to the pod. How are you?
I'm good.
You're good? I think you've had a few bevies tonight. Is that fair to say?
I've had a couple.
Good man, because it's the presentation tonight for Rugby Union, boys.
It is. It's our annual awards night tonight.
Brilliant. How's it going so far?
It's gone well. We've had a good feed. We've had the awards. The band's on, as you can hear in the background, and we're all good.
We're all very merry. The band come on to the pod, actually. So if you listen to this episode, you'll hear their interview. And I've got to be honest, it's the hardest interview I've ever done. So 4 lads, they're band to us right up there. Trying to control them is hard work. But what great artists. We can hear them in the background. You wouldn't know that they're not the actual artists, would you?
Yeah. No, they're really good.
Brilliant. So, Paul, come on, tell me a bit about you. How long you've been associated with the club?
So, I've been associated with the club for at least the last 32 years.
Okay.
As a player, as coach, committee member, secretary, treasurer, and finally this year I've been given I wouldn't say the poison chalice, but I've been given the honour of becoming the chairman.
Well done, congratulations. 30 odd years associated with the club, you must have seen a lot in that time.
I have, yeah. When I first came down this club, where we run 4 senior teams, it was in a very, very competitive league. Professionalism was just coming into Rugby Union, and it's changed a lot. There's a lot of teams that we used to play against that are no longer existing, and I think that's testament to the guys down this club, and we've managed to keep this club alive and thriving.
Longevity is an important thing, isn't it, in any sport, and